I have this bedroom that wants decorating. So I've just done some sheeting up, and fortunately on this one there's no carpet, so that makes my job a lot better, a lot quicker. So some of the issues on this one, this paper is going to be staying on. They don't want this changing, so around the room walls are going to be staying white, ceiling is going to be staying white. The woodwork is going to go from gloss to satin finish, and the door is staying as it is, so I will just be covering that up. On this side you can see where they've had the old units taken out. That's where they would have come up to, so they're not going back in, so I'm going to have to take this paper off and then repaper the wall, because this paper no longer exists. We don't have any of this paper to put back on. They were just going to paper from here in, but where some old shelves have been left on the wall, they've compressed this blown vinyl, which will show up when this is painted, because this is going to get painted. This is actually a finished paper. This is the colour of the paper, but we're going to match it up, and when the paper goes on, obviously then we're just going to emulsion the whole thing, but can't leave them, so we'll strip it up to that corner, leaving this on. And when I do take it off, I'll just run a blade down this corner to get a nice square edge, and then just start my paper from that end, working this way. And also on this wall, a patch of plaster there that's blown, so I'll patch that up as well, which will probably mean just hacking that area off. A few cracks in the skirting board, which I'll foam, sort them out. So then, other than that, on the other side, same, units have been took out, but there are some units going back. They're going to come further out this time, so I will have a look at this corner. There's the odd hole up in the ceiling where this conduit runs up, also cracks in the skirting board, which I'll have a look at. So then on this wall, again, we're all just going white on this wall. All shelves have been sat where the plugs are in the wall. So what I will do is pull these out or knock the ends off and then fill over them. Get rid of them. And then fireplace again. This is white gloss, but this will be going white satin, staying black inside. So then, other than that, really, it's not too bad. On the ceiling there, there's been a leak, so I'm going to check that that's dry, make sure that's okay, and then I'll stain block it before emulsioning this ceiling. Now this is where there'll be a fair bit of work as well. This window is going from stain to white, again white satin, but all the way around this window, sitting here, is brown silicone, which I'll have to rake out. I'll have to get rid of that, because the paint's not going to sit on that and it'll just constantly crack off it. So I'll rake all that out, foam it and fill it before undercoating and satin coating this. I'll be changing all the window furniture, all these casement stays. They'll be going chrome. Oh, it should look pretty smart. With these plugs in the wall, all I've been doing is just with a screw, only slightly in, because obviously these plugs expand, so just enough to bite it, and then just draw them out. Leave a bit of damage, but obviously that will get filled and touched up. What you can do is, this has been lined, this wall, so to harden off this paper, you could just touch it up with a bit of bin primer or a bit of emulsion before you actually fill and sand these. Stop the paper from fraying. I've raked this crack out. You can see that there now. I've just highlighted it with a bit of bin primer. So that will always constantly sit there because there's a bit of vibration and movement in the skirting board. But fix all that back and won't be a problem. Just use a bit of expanding foam and some filler over the top. That's all the gap filling foam cut back. I've sanded the skirting board and I've just run some bin primer over that top edge again, just to harden off that foam and just let me see where my filler's going to be going. And just using the blade about half an inch away from the corner, just run it all the way down. So when you pull your paper off, it's not going to affect any of this paper. When pulling this paper, be careful it doesn't break and you hit yourself in the face. Everybody will be wondering why you've got a black eye. Nice neat edge there. I'm now ready for removing that backing because I want to be able to get at this, sort this out, get some filler in this. So the surface that I took off the paper, I've laid down underneath where I'm going to be stripping, some of the decent lengths of it. I've got a warm bucket of soapy water and my stumpy flat, and I'm going to wet all this in now. The trick is with this, let the water do the work, and it's a lot easier when you come to strip it. So I'll give that time to soak, and it's going to just fly off. And while the steps are still here, a bucket of water and we stump it flat. I'll just give this a wash. Removing any old paste. What this will do, will also bring off any bits of paper that are left on. So that's the wall stripped, cleaned off, got a damp cloth in my hand, and now I'm just going to roll this up. I'll just wipe the skirting board, any sockets. I'll just remove any paste. I'll just have a closer look now. Near the crack that was running through. So I'll foam this crack, fix with a bit of foam around the edges, and then I'll skim this with an undercoat plaster. So the reason why that would have been blown is mainly this crack here, which is then just, it's delaminated from the back. Again, this is quite an old house, built in 1908. So this is just something that's happens in quite a lot of houses where the surface plaster just comes loose from the backing. So that's not a problem, sort that out. leave that now to go off. What I will do is just wipe around this edge just to clean it off a bit. I've got my paint scraper. I'm just going to bring it down both of these edges to try and start to release some of this silicone. Anything that's left in, just try and flick it out. What I'll do is I'll give it a real good sand and I'll wipe it back with methylated spirits just to make sure there's no contamination. That's all silicone out. And there's just that gap there now. You see all what's come out. So now what I'll do is I'll give it a quick sand, wipe with methylated spirits, and then I'll run some bin primer up just to highlight where I'm going to be filling. The reason why I've used bin primer on this is because it dries really quick. I can highlight where my foam needs to go, know exactly where I need to put it, because it's not all round. I see along the bottom edge. And then up this side, it runs to nothing. So that'll be drying, and it'll be ready for foam. That's the gap filling foam in the window. I got plaster drying off. That'll be okay. I'll have the bash at it tomorrow morning. What I'll do is I'll block that stain and then get some filler in the woodwork wherever it needs filling, and then start coating my ceiling. So this is ready for paper and paint. So on this wall, all my filling's been done. Finished off this patch, skimmed it. Skirting board all filled. Treated this area. It wasn't damp, it was a cold sink because we got two external walls. Wardrobe sat here, so it's just creating damp in the corner. So treated all that, stuck the paper back. That's ready for papering. This is ready for painting. So window is prepped, ready. So I've got the furniture on. Just knocked a bit of the colour out on these walls. Back there as well. So ceiling, stain block, and the ceiling's finished. It's all coated up. So again, over on this side, skirting board filled. Any filling on the walls done. So this is ready now for all its paint. This is the paper that we've got to put on the walls, which is very similar to the existing paper. But obviously we'll want painting. And I've gone and got the paint mixed for this job. So it's an off-white that's going on the walls. And that's quite a good match they've got there. There is actually paint on this swatch card. So that's a good match. And also, yeah, match that very well, because there is also paint I've put on this swatch. You can just see the slight texture of it there. So that is a good match. It's getting that time of year as well that these light bulbs are not very good in a room like this, especially when we're getting the sun setting. So definitely worth getting yourself a light. I've had a few. These LED ones aren't too bad. Halogen seems to just constantly go through bulbs, but the difference that they make is unbelievable. So better than the halogen, but essential that you have one.